Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine, we'll profile two Seminole siblings that have traveled from South Africa to join forces on the FSU track and field team. And then what does it take to throw a no-hitter? We'll ask two Seminole softball pitchers that have done just that. And what significance does the number 2 play for the Sand volleyball team? These stories and more on Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Wilson. Sharing a victory with your teammates is sweet, but sharing it with your family by your side is even sweeter, especially when you're thousands of miles away from home. In our first story, Taylor Tannenbaum uncovers the bond that track and field has built for the Brits siblings.
Track and field is a team sport made up of individual accomplishments. Win and the glory is all yours. Lose and the disappointment can be tough to shoulder. But for two members of the FSU track team, they never have to face the tough stuff alone.
Well, we have a South African saying for brother, that's what I call him, Boetie.
But if I call her Sissy, that's like sister in the little version in my language.
Stefan and Marika Brits are teammates and siblings. Although friends by blood, the sport they both love has given them a stronger foundation than they ever imagined.
We're really close on the track. When it comes to practice, like people think it's weird if we jog around the track together and stretch a little bit, but that's like how we grew up.
The duo was born and raised in Cape Town, South Africa. As soon as they entered grade school, track and field became ingrained in their lives.
From a young age, you're brought up to it, and everybody wants to see if they're fast. Like if there's a 60-meter, like when you're a little kid, you want to run and see how fast you are, or jump over this, or whatever.
He started about when he was 7 years old. So since I was 5, I've been on the track, either watching him train or going to track meets, and I've always wanted to run since I've seen him run.
Together over the years, Stefan and Marika found their niche. The track and long jump pit became their common ground. But even spending so much time together, the two insist that sibling rivalry is kept to a minimum.
We never compete against each other. What he does is what he does and what I do is what I do. Don't try and beat each other in anything because that'll just not work out.
In 2008, FSU track coach Ken Harnden discovered Stefan at the World Youth Games. Stefan would then make the longest and most important jump of his career, landing here in Tallahassee. A year later, his sister would follow in his footsteps once again.
She kind of looked at other schools as well, and then like I started speaking to like, this is the only way. Like there's no, if you're coming here or you're not coming. Like you're not going to come and go to a different school.
Leaving Africa for America is a difficult transition, but having a piece of home right here in Florida has made leaving just a little bit easier.
For me, it's been a tremendous help. To be honest, I don't know how I would have made the transition without him. Just knowing that there's someone to call, speak in your home language, and just when you have a difficult thing going on or a situation you're in you don't know how to handle, I know I can always call him and he knows how it would be best for me to handle it.
Gee, that's like, I can speak to her in my own language. That's basically the biggest thing.
Waarom is ons ek lus om buite te wees?
Just little stuff like how the culture is different, or if you struggle with something, family is just different from having friends.
Stefan and Marika agree. Being on the same track makes competing more fun. They're each other's biggest fans and biggest critics. Even Stefan takes pointers from his little sister.
She did help me at World Champs. She was in the stands in the final round, and I sometimes get too much focus on just one thing and not having fun. And we always have fun in practice. Like that's the best thing. I feel like if you have fun, you're going to succeed even better. Don't overthink something. So she kind of just say like, yeah, you're focusing too much. Just smile a little bit and have fun. And yeah, it ended up great.
He's been a great motivator for me. I think with all his achievements and how he handles himself, I've always looked up to him, and he always encourages me and gives me points that I can work on that he sees, and we kind of do it both ways.
These Seminole siblings are taking the track and sand pit by storm. And although Stefan and Marika may line up alone at the start, there is always a familiar face waiting at the finish line. For Seminole Sports Magazine, I'm Taylor Tannenbaum.
The Brits will continue to motivate each other as they jump to earn a trip to nationals. But they both know that no matter the outcome, they never have to face it alone. When we come back, What does it take to throw a no-hitter? We'll ask two Seminole softball pitchers that have done just that. Also, Scott Kodak goes one-on-one with Seminole softball standout, sophomore Mattie OBrien. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T. It's time to review scores and highlights from recent FSU athletic events. Here's Cole Robertson to catch you up with all the latest in Seminole athletics.
Hey there, Nole fans. I'm Cole Robertson with a look at the latest in Seminole athletics. It was a big day for Seminole fans last Saturday as the Noles put an end to spring practice with the annual Garnet and Gold spring game. Gold won over Garnet 40-24, but as far as the nearly 30,000 roaring fans were concerned, it was a big win for everybody. The quarterback battle was on as the race to replace E.J. Manuel draws near. Four quarterbacks, Sean McGuire, Jacob Coker, Clint Trickett, and Jameis Winston, all had their fair share of snaps to try and prove themselves as the best. Freshman quarterback Jameis Winston did not disappoint as he threw a solid 58-yard touchdown pass to David Tyrell on the very first play of the game, making him a very promising pick for the possible lead position. And speaking of Jameis Winston, after the Garnet and Gold game, Winston made his way right down the road to Dick Howser Stadium, where he played in a doubleheader against Duke University. The Noles dominated the Diamond, winning each game against Duke, making it 10 straight wins against the Blue Devils. John Nagowski matched a career high with 3 hits, along with Seth Miller and Marcus Davis, who each had 2. Noles came out victorious with an 8-3 win. And the Lady Noles walked away with a doubleheader sweep over Virginia last Sunday. This win keeps their softball team in the first place standing in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Seniors Morgan Bullock and Kirsten Austin dominated the plate, along with pitcher Monica Perry. Perry allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in 6.2 innings, while striking out 4. There's another week of Seminole scalping the competition. I'm Cole Robertson, and that's your Seminole Update.
Our next story features 2 pitchers on the Florida State softball team. During this season, the 2 hotshots have pitched 2 impressive no-hitters. Throwing a no-hitter isn't an easy task. It takes a little luck, lots of dedication, and a whole team to back you up. Both pitchers have different styles and pitches, but together they create a powerful duo that intimidates all who step to the plate. Celie Godwin introduces us to these top-notch pitchers.
What does it take to throw the perfect pitch? Imagine a packed stadium. Your teammates take to the field, and you step on the mound, carrying the weight of your team and the game on your shoulders.
Being a pitcher, the biggest thing you have to deal with is pressure. So, I mean, every day there's pressure. Whether you're playing an easy team, you're pressured to pitch really well against them, or you're playing a hard team, you're pressured to carry your team through and kind of lead them.
Senior pitcher Monica Perry and sophomore pitcher Lacey Waldrop have led the Noles to over 30 wins this season. But pitching has its ups and downs, and not every pitch results in a strikeout.
The funny thing is, a lot of the time when you want to throw that perfect pitch, it's not. And the funniest thing is sometimes that not perfect pitch works out better than the perfect one. I can't think of how many times that I've been, thinking all right, hit this spot, and I don't hit it. I throw it more middle and they swing and miss, but then when I do hit my spot, they end up hitting it, and I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense.
Whatever happens, ball strike, home run, strikeout, pop-up, whatever happens, when you receive the ball back, it's next pitch, and that one needs to go.
For number 55 and number 13, the perfect pitch takes more than just practice.
I think more than just making the perfect pitch, it's being relaxed and letting your body do the work for you, not being too tense, and just really, being at ease and being confident more than anything.
And while they may not share the same style, they are both lethal weapons on the mound.
Monica is what you call more of a power pitcher. She throws mid 63, 64 to 66 and 67. So that's a very, when you talk about in baseball ranks, I mean, that's kind of in the upper 90s in the reaction time that we have. So the thing that makes Monica successful is she also has the off speed. So when we talk about the timing element, so she can beat you with power, but she can also do the finesse part of it too.
Well, Moni definitely throws gas. She throws really hard.
I'm standing here at the Seminole Softball Complex with senior pitcher Monica Perry. Monica pitched a no-hitter against Tennessee State earlier this season, and now I want to see if I can take her on. Monica, what's your favorite pitch?
My rise ball.
Why is that?
That is the pitch I can rely on the most to get a swing and a miss.
Do you think I can hit it?
I don't think so.
Let's try it out.
Perry's first pitch is her fastball. Strike 1. The second, her drop ball. Strike 2. And the third, her infamous rise ball. Strike 3. And while I may not be the typical opponent, her record speaks for itself. She has more than 130 strikeouts in this season alone. And when Perry isn't bringing on the heat, it's Waldrop who's mixing things up.
Lacey's what you call a spinning pitcher. Some people refer to her as a thumber. The thing that makes Lacey very successful is she can mix a ton of different speeds. So she probably has 4 or 5 different speeds when she comes out. Every one of her pitches has got movement on it.
Try hitting one of her drop balls at 63 miles per hour. Waldrop's speed and movement helped nab her a no-hitter against Troy University. But these two Noles don't take all the credit for their no-hitters. They say it wouldn't be possible without the help of their teammates.
It feels pretty great, but I think the most amazing thing is really seeing your teammates get into it. You know, without them there on the field making those plays and really throwing it all out there on the line, I wouldn't have those no-hitters. So it's just really a team effort, and it's an amazing feeling.
Throwing a no-hitter is like something that's super exciting, and you know, it means a lot to you, but I think that the coolest thing is it means so much to your teammates. Like, it's not just about the pitcher, you know, it's like a whole team effort. Like, you have to score runs, you have to make plays, like, you know, there's not going to be all routine plays, like people have to make good plays, you know, your catcher has to do stuff for you behind the plate. It's just like a whole team thing, and that's really exciting.
Whether it's on the mound, in the bullpen, or in practice, this powerful duo is an important piece of every Seminole win. But even after the game ends and the players go home, the motivation remains.
You're playing not for just this team, but you're playing for tradition. All the people who've been here years before you and played to make this program where it is, and you know, you have them that you're playing for, you have your coaches, you have your hometown that you're playing for, my parents. You're playing to make all of them proud, and that's the biggest thing. You have to be selfless in that you're like able to play this game, and that it means more than just a win and a loss.
I'm Celie Godwin for Seminole Sports Magazine.
The Noles will be seeking their 12th ACC title when they host the ACC tournament in Tallahassee, May 9th through the 11th. When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T, Scott Kotick goes one-on-one with Seminole softball standout, sophomore Mattie OBrien.
Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine, presented by AT&T. Our special guest today is Mattie OBrien of the softball team. A great weekend, sweeping Virginia. I think you had 3 home runs yourself. How great has this part of the season been? It seems like your hitting is really getting going. Your pitching obviously has always been outstanding, but a really good, just an effort this past weekend.
Yeah, I think we're really coming together, and we're trying to figure out the little victories that really get us going. So I think when everything comes together, we're really going to be unstoppable. Early in the season, you did have a number of really crucial injuries. You lose Brianna Hamilton, you lose Tiffany Brown, you lose, I believe, Stephanie Hartness in right field. Most teams would kind of buckle under the pressure. Your team didn't. What was the kind of the mentality, knowing, hey, we're still a great team, we still have a lot of pieces to the puzzle?
You know, Coach is really big on adversity and, you know, just rolling with what comes at us. So I think we really had to take our punches and just
roll with it. And a lot of people have really stepped up this season, so it's been good.
I think anyone who comes out to the softball complex has seen a bunch of home runs. A number from you as well. What's been the secret to that? Just, I mean, I think Courtney Cenas might be one off the record. Kelly Hensley's right up there. You have a lot of young ladies that can really hit the ball. I think just getting your pitch has been huge for us this year, and we talk a lot about that. And not helping those pitchers out and hitting the mistake is just really crucial for us. One thing, too, is your pitching staff, it's pretty good, right? Yeah. Lacey and Monica might be the two best pitchers in the league. When you have young ladies in the circle like that, what kind of confidence does that do hitting-wise? Oh, it's awesome. They can just get us back in the dugout as quick as possible, and they know that we have their back behind them, so it's just awesome when they know they can throw any pitch and that our defense is going to work for them. Yeah, anybody knows anything about baseball and softball, pitching and defense win championships, right? The one thing about your defense, you've been solid all year. What's that been like? Trying to replace pieces like a Hamilton or a Tiffany Brown that you have young ladies really come in and it seems like they've been playing there the whole career. I think communication has been really big in that. So playing, defense with new people at new positions is kind of difficult, but when you keep the talk going, it seems like they've been doing it forever. Talk about just the ACC itself. I think you only have 2 losses in league play. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. What's been the secret to that success? Like I said, just going up there with a plan and knowing those pitchers that we've faced before is just really big, and sitting those pitches and working for our pitchers has just been awesome. How big is this part of the season? You have 2 more road series before you host the ACC tournament here in Tallahassee. How big is this as you really approach that big part of the season, which is the postseason? It's really big because, we can't lose any focus going into the last 2 ACC series because you never know what can happen. So we really got to take these series and just try to get the sweep on both of them. Virginia Tech this weekend, obviously, kind of a hitter's ballpark. You were saying a lot like Georgia Tech you play next weekend, kind of a smaller ballpark is hitters. Do you like going to some place like that? Oh, yeah, we love it. If we can get a hold of something, we know it's got a chance. So that's really big for us, and using the big parts of the park is just really big. So if we can hit gaps, we're going to be all right. And finally, talk about the ACC tournament being here. It's in Tallahassee. A lot of times you might have to go to Atlanta, you might have to go to Blacksburg. Well, you get to stay at home this time. How big has that been, just knowing, hey, we're going to finish the season here in Tallahassee no matter what? It's really awesome because home field advantage, obviously, and it's really awesome for our seniors just to, get that last tournament under their belt at home. And it's good when we have our fans out here to, support us. Well, best of luck throughout the rest of the season at Virginia Tech and Atlanta. Thank you. When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T, we'll take a look at a freshman duo making an instant impact on the sand volleyball courts.
Seminole Sports Magazine is presented by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Coke Zero, football-related chest bumps, high fives, and trash talk brought to you by Coke Zero. Enjoy everything.
Seminole Highlights is presented by AT&T, rethink possible.
Recruiting players for a new sport can be challenging, but this year's freshman class proves that the Seminole Sand volleyball team is on the right track. Marissa Elise shows that in the second year of the program, good things travel in tubes.
An emerging collegiate sport, building a legacy at FSU. Only 1 season under their belts, already owning an undefeated regular season record. None other than Florida State Sand Volleyball.
We've established quickly that this is a powerhouse sand volleyball school. We recruited 7 girls before the season even started last year, and about almost half of them had never even played sand before. So it's a really interesting dynamic because that never happens in the face of college sports. You have someone who's never even played that sport being recruited for that sport.
From high school to college, from indoor to sand, from star senior to standout freshman, FSU sand volleyball newcomers are embracing change. Catherine Plessy and Lexi Ryan were the first two Georgia natives to join the team, but the two were not always sharing the same side of the net.
We played against each other in the state championship of high school in Georgia volleyball, and it was a great rivalry. My team ended up on top, so that was cool, but it was pretty cool going from being rivals in high school to teammates in college.
Untying her shoes and stepping into the sand for the first time at FSU, Catherine was out of her comfort zone. It was Coach Corso's confidence that she relied on.
When I was being recruited to play in college, I didn't even know that sand was a sport. I hadn't played before, but she seemed extremely confident in developing an indoor player into a sand player. She had a lot of confidence in me, and I had a lot of confidence in her.
Freshman Julie Brown had experience playing in the sand, but it's her relationship with her fellow teammate that keeps her strong throughout the season. Friends since first grade and teammates since 7th, Julie Brown and Kayla Joyce chose to play at Florida State together.
Kayla and Julie made it clear that they came as a pair, and they were committed to each other.
Coming from high school with Kayla definitely helped the transition because we've been best friends since first grade, so we know each other, we know what we're gonna like, and it just helped having a best friend to go through it with.
Catherine and Julie are now fully adjusted at FSU, and it shows. Julie is paired with sophomore Melanie Pavels, who has grown up playing in the sand.
She is a sophomore, but she's been playing since she was like 5 on Long Beach, and she's so experienced, and it definitely gives me something to push myself for. Since she's so good, it just makes me keep wanting to get better.
Catherine says she's loving Florida State, but one thing this small-town Georgia girl isn't used to, the traffic.
There are so many red lights, and people don't use their blinkers as much as what I'm used to, so that's actually been one of the hardest things to adjust to.
But no red lights for the Noles on the court. This season, the team is still holding an undefeated record. I'm Marissa Elise for Seminole Sports Magazine.
And you can catch the Noles at home in the sand April 20th and 21st. I'm Rob Wilson, and we'll see you next week on Seminole Sports Magazine presented by AT&T.